Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about kind of resolutions, but kind of goals and how I'm kind of looking ahead at 2024 in a slightly different way. If you know anything about me, I would like for it to be that I am a relatively positive person. I love to always be I'm always kind of looking ahead, but I always do look at everything as it's going to work out. Like, I am a glass half full kind of person. I've become slightly more cynical in my, last few years, but I definitely am someone who tries to see the good in people. And when people say, well, they're only doing it because, I really want to be the person who believes the better. I also don't really worry about things that I don't need to worry about. When I do, I know there's a problem. I know there's some kind of something that maybe needs to be thought on a little bit, because that's when some anxieties creep in. I'm not an anxious person. I'm not someone who lives with that but what if, but what if, but what if. I enjoy thinking through the many what ifs of every situation, almost for fun, because then I can be prepared for, right, well, I knew this was going to happen, if this is completely out of my control, let's think of all the ways that this could be playing out, and when it comes to it, I know what I'm going to do because I've already thought about it. I was going to say I'm quite easygoing. I used to be a lot more easygoing. I used to think a lot less about all the different ways things could play out. That was kind of something that I would play in big situations, but like day to day, I'll just turn up and see what happens. I'm definitely someone now who likes a little bit more control. I'm a lot more controlling than I realized I was. And I think after the pandemic, when so much control was taken away, I recognized, oh, this is something that you have a problem with. Also, this time last year, I'd just been diagnosed with moderate anxiety and depression, and I'd started taking some antidepressants, and I just was not in a great headspace. Some stuff was happening. I was dealing with things that perhaps it wasn't anxiety and depression. It was actually just regular, this is overwhelming and too much for me. It's just stuff that I can't necessarily share. So it was a lot. And I wasn't really feeling, let's have a fresh start, let's have a new year, let's think about what I want for the year. It took me a long time. I feel like it took me probably 8 or 9 months to kind of get out of that funk. I'm no longer taking the antidepressants. I'm feeling so much better now than I was last January. And so I was excited. I thought a lot about how I was going to approach this new year, because I felt like it was kind of slightly more weighty because I hadn't done it last year. I thought about what I've done in the past, kind of goals that I've made, what's worked, what hasn't worked, what's helped me even if I haven't achieved the goals that I made, what's helped me kind of move forward. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way, but something that I did recognize that I was doing constantly was making big goals for the year, big commitments. And I'm great at commitments. I'm great at immediate follow through. Like, I've got a plan, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. And I might do it for 30 days, I might do it for 90 days, but the day I don't do it is the day it's over. I am completely all or nothing. And if I say to myself, right, I'm going to start exercising, and I say, right, I'm going to exercise every single day, I could keep that up for a while. I could be pretty disciplined and keep that up for a while, but the first day I don't do it, it's over. So that was something that I wanted to work on for 2024, something that I didn't want to, I didn't just want to make a goal and immediately know I'm setting myself up for failure. But also, knowing that I'm great at follow through, I've got an idea, let's do it right now. It's kind of crazy to make myself big goals because, for example, last year I started a candle business with my friend Karen, and that was not on my 2023 resolution list. Even if I'd made resolutions last year, it wouldn't have been on the list. It wasn't even in my head. Karen and I had kind of batted around the idea of doing something creative together. She'd had some market stalls with some of her handmade items in the past, and I was like, oh, I wish I could do something with you. I wish we could do something together. And it just kind of came to us in the springtime. We were like, it's this. We both enjoy this thing. Let's get some supplies. Let's see how we like it. Let's see whether or not it's achievable. We tested for quite a few months before we started kind of putting things in motion to actually create the business and sell. And it's successful. It's working. People are buying things and it's already making money. We're already kind of completely out of what we put in, and it's I mean, you guys on the whole have made it as successful as it has been. So, you know, thanks for buying all our candles and wax melts. But it would be pointless for me to set myself up at the beginning of the year and be like, I want to do these things, because I don't have a list of things that I want to do, because if I wanted to do it, I'd have tried to do it by now. So knowing that I am, want to give up on things when I don't succeed immediately, I decided that this year I was going to make myself slightly more manageable goals. So the things that I want to do this year aren't huge. They're not big. By the end of the year, I want. They are daily things that I want to try and improve. So one of the things I'm really pleased with myself, and I was wearing a nicer outfit earlier on, but it's freezing. I don't know how cold it is, but my hands are cold. I'm sitting in my office. I don't have the heating on in the house because I'm home alone and that's crazy. I'm not putting on the heating for just me, but my hands are actually cold in the house. This is nuts. I was wearing a nice like blouse. I actually filmed another video, which you'll see soon, but it was nice. It was a nice outfit. I have been getting dressed every day. I know, but actually dressed every day. I am a week and a half in or something, and I have not yet worn a pair of leggings in 2024. I'm not against leggings, but I maybe leaned a little bit too much on leggings and sweatshirts in 2023. 2, 1. It became my uniform of, this is almost like pajamas, but socially appropriate to leave the house. And I didn't feel motivated to do very much at all. This morning, I got up, took the kids to school in my like slob about clothes, went downstairs, sat downstairs. I kind of like, this is me, just sitting there watching TV. I'm having my coffee and just like I really can't. I've got so many things to do today. I need to get back into my routine. I need to be filming. I need to be editing. I need to be making plans for the weeks and months ahead. I need to get in gear. And I just sat there just like, I can't really be bothered to do anything. And I thought, you haven't got dressed. I went and got dressed and I immediately felt different. I felt like I was awake. This is not an outfit. This is an outfit, but that wasn't an outfit to like sit on the sofa and watch TV in. It was a nice outfit. We're doing something. I thought, I'll do my hair, I'll put on some makeup, and then we'll see how I feel. And I got stuff done. I hate to say that I feel more confident with makeup on, but I do. It's not that I don't want people to see me without makeup on, because I go out without makeup all the time. I went to Starbucks and sat and had a coffee the other day and I look like a little goblin. I'm totally fine with that. Not a problem. I mean, I'm on the internet without makeup on every day of December. It's just, that is not the thing. But there's something about doing your hair, putting on a little bit of makeup, making sure that you're dressed nicely, that helps. It does something. It changes your demeanor, it changes your attitude, and it does make me more confident. And I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's psychosomatic. I think it's kind of a placebo effect of like a kind of a fake it till you make it, dress for the mood you want. But it works for me. I hate that I have to hear something 150 times before I'll finally do something. Like, I really am of an incredibly rebellious nature, in that you guys could watch me do something wrong constantly and be like, but if you just changed, and I'd be like, no, I did not ask for that feedback. I did not want to be told what to do. It doesn't matter how right you are, and it doesn't matter how wrong I am. I have to come to it on my own. I'm nearly 38. It sounds like a child, but at least acknowledging that and realizing that this is a character flaw, I'm trying to be different. And a couple other things were, when I was in a low mood, people were like, it makes a big difference to get dressed. It makes a big difference to get out of the house. There could be, if me and Milo were both off, I could not leave the house at all. Not even literally step foot out of my house. Quite happily. And by the end of the week, I wonder why I'm like, I can't be bothered to do anything. It's totally true. I just don't want it to be true until I've decided it's my idea. I don't want to be told what to do. Surely I'm not the only one. But I'm listening. And I'm getting dressed. I'm somehow putting myself together. That's not makeup every day. That's not hair every day. But it's hopefully not letting myself look like I've just been pulled through a bush. And keeping on top of the hair washing, going back and, really getting into my skincare again. I just really let it all fall in 2023. And I don't want to say let myself go, because that really has a negative, I mean, it is a negative thing, but it really has like a negative connotation. But I did let my self-care go. I wasn't looking after myself. So that's a huge thing this year. And it's not huge, it's tiny. It's little things every single day. I'm trying to make sure that I get dressed. I am curating somewhat of a capsule wardrobe. I'm doing that through January, so I will share that in February. Because I'm getting dressed every day, I'm kind of pulling from things and realizing what I actually do and don't want to wear, what I need and what I don't need. So I am buying some new things as well. But yeah, that's a big thing. Actually putting myself out into the world in the way that I want to. Second is fitness. This is not diet, weight loss, anything. This is, I have got to the point where I'm taking my maximum dosage of painkillers every day. And when I take them, I haven't taken them today yet because I had to do this, it makes me really groggy. There's been times where I've taken a couple of painkillers on an empty stomach and I can hear myself slurring my words, which is why sometimes I watch celebrities on red carpets and people in the comments on Instagram are like, oh, she's on something, she's this and she's that. And I think she could just have taken some pain. Like, they're not crazy painkillers that I'm taking, but they are like, I can hear, it's like my motor skills are slowing down. I can hear my voice slower as I'm talking. I hate it. I feel like it's kind of making me a little bit of a zombie. I don't want to be taking as many as I am. I don't want to be dependent on them. And just to go back to what I was saying earlier, this is not an invitation for people to tell me what I should be doing to manage my pain. I went a very long time with no pain relief offered at all, like a decade. I've only had these painkillers for a year, so I'm not about to be giving them up and trying other methods just yet. But I am really committed this year to strengthening the areas that I have problems. So basically all my back, my shoulders, my neck. I think it's really my neck, and it kind of spreads. The pain in my neck, which it is my neck, goes down my back, and it now has got to the point where it's going down my arms, and this arm is almost as painful as my neck and back pain has been, and it's not going away. This has been maybe 4 months. Like if I raise it up higher than this, it hurts. It's getting to a point of like, you can't live like this anymore. And painkillers are not enough to just be like, well, it's fine, I can keep on top of the pain, because it's not really keeping on top of the pain. It's just taking the edge off, even at the most that I want to be taking. So I've committed to, I'm going to do my steps. I'm doing 8,000 steps a day. It's not even 10,000, and I'm not even doing it every day. 8,000 is my goal for every day in January. And I'm doing stretches, no specific exercise, no specific stretches, no specific, you have to do it for this amount of time. I've got resistance bands, and I stretch in a way that makes me feel like I'm kind of like stretching out the right areas. And doing like, certain going through the motions of things that people like physio have told me in the past. But it's very flexible. So again, going back to the beginning, not wanting to put myself into something that I can give up on this really, really easily. I have set myself goals. They are daily goals, not monthly goals. So if one day I do absolutely nothing, it's fine. That was today's goal. Tomorrow's goal, I'll try again. It's not ruined for the month. It's just that was today, and we'll try again tomorrow. And at the end of the month, I'll have my little sheet that I've coloured in for like, this is how well you've done. And in February, I'm going to try and improve on January. If I do 50%, even if I do 20% of the days in January, I will have done 100% more than I did in December. That's how I'm looking at it, so that I am more likely to continue with this. Also, I know that it's for my own health. I think because the motivation is for health rather than for weight loss, because I really don't care. I'm hopeful that every day when I have to take a painkiller, I remember to pick up the flipping resistance bands and just do some stretches. A little bit every day. It's got to be better than nothing. And then by the end of the year, I would love to be doing some weight training and really seeing a difference in the strength. But I'm not even, like, that's so far in advance. I'm like way at the beginning of the race right now, and I need to get there. And there's so many steps between now and then. So again, I could have gone in with like, I want to do weight training this year. And there were so many barriers to entry for me between like actually deciding I want to do it, getting into the gym and doing it with Lee. Like, oh, I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Everything I need. I've got my walking pad in the living room. I've got my resistance bands in the living room. I can do that at the same time if I want to. I can go for a walk. I'm actually intentionally wearing my Apple Watch now so that even my like passive steps are counted, which I know it's nonsense, but it just helps. It helps to motivate me to feel like, okay, well, I've already done 2,000 steps without even trying, so I can do a few more. Even if I do half, it's better than nothing. And that's kind of my mentality for this whole year. Small things. I'm taking like small wins and I'm trying to celebrate the little things that I'm doing, the little positive steps forward that I'm making, rather than this is a huge goal and it feels unachievable and I'm just going to stare at it and remember that's something that I want to do this year and then probably not do it. I've got lots of little personal goals as well. I'd like to journal more. I'm going to start tracking my mood, which again is something that I wanted to do and I've written it in, but I haven't actually started doing it yet. And in past years, I'd be like, well, you know, it's already a week and a half in. But that's not what this is about. Like, I could start in February if I want to. I want to improve every single day a little bit. And if that means I skip a day or if it means I start a little bit late, it doesn't matter. I obviously have business goals, but they're not specific goals. They're more like we really want to get a better balance of the work that we're doing. There's some things that we want to outsource so that it's just a more enjoyable experience for us. We both work effectively full-time hours outside of this thing that we're doing. It's supposed to be like a fun little gig. It's become a much larger gig than we anticipated because you guys have made it so successful so quickly. But we are looking at various ways that we can like streamline our processes while still doing like small batch stuff and still enjoying what we're doing and making it feel like creatively fulfilling. We've got some new product launches that we're really excited about, but rather than think, right, we want to earn this amount of money this year, because we haven't even discussed any goals like that. It's more of a, how do we want to feel about it by the end of the year? How do we want to change the way we do things in 2024? We've started having certain things printed. We have tried to get like things sent from only one supplier instead of like here, there and everywhere. We are trying to keep a track of like taxes in a different way. Everything is just little small improvements so that by the end of the year you can be like, wow, all those tiny things that we did actually made a really big difference. Rather than just writing a number on a piece of paper, I want to earn £50,000 this year, and then at the end of the year you go, I did it or I didn't do it. But saying you wanted that didn't actually mean anything. I want to actually make changes every day. I would love to know, what are your resolutions? If you're doing something similar, like people who want to read more, that's a great example of something that is similar to this. It's just like you're wanting to kind of chip away at something all the time. You're not going to say, I want to read, you might say I want to read 100 books this year, but you're not going to just say I want to read 100 books. You're going to break it down. How many books is that a month? How many is it a week? How are you going to do that? It's not just as simple as like, oh, I want to do this. And that's kind of more how it works for me. And I think I'm probably going to resolve once a month. I'm probably going to sit down and be like, so what worked last month? What am I going to do this month? Maybe 8,000 steps was too much. Maybe I wasn't doing it. Maybe I'm going to put it down to 6,000 as my goal for February, just to kind of make myself feel like I'm hitting a target. Maybe the stretches are going really well. Maybe I want to incorporate some yoga in February. I don't want to have an annual goal in January. I want every month to be reassessed. And I think that that is the way to make actual change in a year. If you've ever read the 12-week year, this is very similar in mindset to this. Just kind of break it down into smaller chunks, and by the end of the year, you'll realize you've made big changes. But that's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm also going to be doing a weekly wins post on my blog every week. I might start doing this like occasionally on YouTube as well. I posted my first one this week, and it's just kind of, again, kind of like gratitude, celebrating some small wins, some things that you're like, I really like that this thing happened this week. So that might be a good thing to adopt as well, whether you read my post or not. It might be a good thing to adopt to like if you struggle with gratitude, to just be like, what are like 4 things that happened this week that were good? What were, like, maybe you made dinner and it was a different dinner and everybody liked it. That's a win. That's a huge win. Anything. Like you arrive to the bus stop just as the bus arrives. That's a win. It's not like, you know, woo-woo gratitude. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, I'm so thankful for yada yada. It's like actual stuff that in that moment you were really pleased. That's a win. Celebrate the small things, make small goals, and achieve more. Achieve more, feel better. Also, maybe get dressed occasionally. Occasionally.